Hello again, whiskey friends. It's Stagg 23B time. Yes, sir. That's the one we're talking about right here. Stagg 23B. Let's get it in focus. There we go. 127.8, so a little bit less than last time. So let's get into this one right away. And I will be back with all of the details for this one, fellas. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody, to Whiskey Riffs Lounge. My name is Kelsey. Please hit the like and subscribe below, and let me know in the comments if you guys are seeing this, what you're seeing it price pointed for, but also if you've tried it, how you like it, and what is your favorite batch of Stagg. So let's get into this. So obviously this is Stagg 23B. They did take the junior off this a while back, but this one is 23B 127.8. A huge fan of Stagg Junior, Stagg, whatever you want to call it. This is kind of a controversial thing because everybody likes it, but most people right now are not able to find it. If they do find it, it's for $100 plus. I will tell you this. I'm in Arkansas, and we're getting more of Buffalo Trace allocations than we ever have before since the RNDC was kicked out and they replaced their distributor. So I will say, I'm hoping that that is a trend across the board. If it's not, I'm sorry, but man, this one is going to be a fun one to jump into. So Stagg 23B, let's get into the nose and color here real fast. Color is dark. Let's get into the nose on this thing. It's been sitting about 20 minutes, and I will say if you get some of these, make sure you let them sit for at least 10 minutes on the minimum. I like to leave them out for about 15 to 20. It just, with barrel proofs, opens up and really helps you get a better sense of where this whiskey is going to be long term. So, God, I love this profile. It's like cherry cordial, a little bit of grape, and then like sweet pipe tobacco. That's something that I really enjoyed on this one, as opposed to 22A was probably my favorite that we've been released so far lately. But this one is a different profile. I really like it. So yeah, cherry, vanilla, cordial, with a little bit of grape maybe on the nose, but even more so that sweet tobacco and oak. Let's get into the palate. Cheers, whiskey friends. So you do get the sweetness up front. Then it goes into a little bit of spice, but it envelops. Man, this thing has got some serious legs on it. It's very viscous. It coats your mouth from the beginning all the way to the back. It's very viscous. I really like the mouthfeel on this. It's creamy. It coats your mouth well, but it's also not like super overly proofy to me. For those that like the more proofy ones, this one has still got proof, but it's more well-rounded with the spice and the sweetness that I feel like 22B was and 23A was. So let's go back in for a second sip. Let's see how consistent this is. As always, guys, when you're drinking these, I would ask you to go back into the nose first, because you may be getting some stuff on the nose that you didn't get after you tasted it the first time. So back on the nose, you still get a little bit of ethanol, but it's still really sweet up front. It's kind of calmed down a little bit on the cherry side of things. Let's go in for a second sip and see what the mid palate's like. Okay. Mid palate, you're getting more of the vanillas and the oak and moving towards the back of the palate. Now, I'm not getting a lot of rye spice at all on this, front, middle, or back right now. I am getting some proof that comes in on the finish. It comes back through. I think it's more proof than rye spice there. But overall, very viscous, and now the rye spice is coming in towards the last of the finish. Very long finish. I would advise you too, like if you're not doing this whenever you're tasting the finish, is to push your tongue to the top of the roof of your mouth and do that several times. That will allow you to get more of the notes that you can grab from the finish of a whiskey. Yeah, it's still going. Okay, so it's kind of finished. So on the finish of this thing, it's still all of the oak. The other ones that I had, the 23A, it seemed like the oak profile was more dominant towards the front and the middle of the palate. This one doesn't come until the very last of the finish, which is kind of different, but also kind of nice that it changes up that profile. I'm going to go in for one more sip just to see how consistent this is. Okay, on the last sip, getting pretty consistent notes. There's a little bit of a sharpness towards the middle of the palate, which is odd for me, that I get on this last sip that I didn't get on the others. And it's not a sharpness of proof. I wonder if this one may be just a hair younger than the last couple, because I'm getting a little bit of sharpness, which I associate in my experience with a younger whiskey. It's not off-putting in any way. It's just, it's different than some of the other ones that I've tasted this year. So let's get into the scores on this thing and see where we landed up. If you're new to the channel, we do score all of our whiskeys based on a few components, but these few components are broken down into several that add up and is weighted. So flavor score is 40% of the score, and this one's at a 90. Really enjoyed this flavor. The profile is completely different for me from 23B to 23A. I feel like 23A was more oak forward, whereas this one's more sweet. And the oak comes in at the very, very last. So I like that it's different, but it's also fun to explore and get a different sense of these batches. Experience score is 82. It's still very, very, very high. Overall, I feel like it's a great experience as far as the mouthfeel. It's really creamy. It coats well. And then the value score. Okay, guys, I'm scoring this value. I know you're thinking, what the heck? How can it have such a high value? Okay, I'm scoring this on retail. I'm not scoring this on secondary prices. Now, I was able to get this for $65 plus tax. So for me, the experience, what's in the bottle, is worth a 90 score at retail. If you're not finding these things at retail, I do believe that in the coming, I think you'll be able to see more of this back on the shelves or less allocated per se than it used to be. It was very difficult for a long time to get these for me as well. So I will say that if you're looking for a cask strength that has a similar profile, it's kind of hard to get one exactly like this, but I will say that some of the Still Austin cask strengths, obviously they're a lot younger whiskey, but they have that same type of sweetness and a little bit more of the oak profile if you're looking for, especially the single barrels. I will say some of their single barrels are phenomenal. I just did a couple reviews on Still Austin, so that's kind of fresh in my brain. So let's wrap this up, guys and gals. This one is overall a really great experience for me. Again, this is Stagg Junior 23B. I will maybe revisit this in about a month or so when it's gotten some more air and compare it to 23A and 22B and 22A. Maybe do a four-parter with all four lined out blind and see which one that I actually like better. If you guys have tasted this one, let me know what you think in the comments, man. I don't say that quite often enough, but if these bottles that you're seeing us review, it really helps us know like where we're at, what we're tasting, what the price points are on certain bottles in different areas. So make sure you guys are commenting on that. We would love to hear from you. Or if there's something that you would like for us to review, please make that known in the comments below, and we'll be able to hopefully get to those things in a timely manner and be able to help you. So cheers, whiskey friends. Until next time, this one's going to be a fun one for you to explore and get into. So until next time, have a great day.
Jeff, just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you